Hello people, we'll be starting with section 10, but before that let's have a quick revision. Section number 3, delimitation, that state government is going to decide the boundaries of the municipalities. 4, about the exemptions. 5, about the establishment according to area. 6, about their composition, their members' reservation. 7, term of office. 8, that municipal government vest in municipalities, that is किसको सौंपी जाएगी municipal area की government. Section number 9 is division. We have seen that population to the representation ratio of all the wards has to be seen. Now coming to section number 10, that is determination of wards. So the state government is going to decide the extent, that is the geographical area which has to be made into a specific municipality, and the reservation for SC/ST women, which will be based on the population. The state government has also see that they are evenly distributed across that, and जहाँ पे ज़्यादा population है वहाँ पे accordingly उसकी reservation provide की हुई है. Now the state government has to make this order that they say about the division order. State government has to make this order and send it to municipality. So municipality will look into it and comment on it and raise any objection if they found anything, and the state government can accordingly see into these and amend if they wish. One more thing is given in this section is that the numbering of the wards would be done starting from the northwest direction of the municipal area. Now, section number 11 is about the election to municipalities. So, who is going to conduct the election? This is the state election commissioner who is going to be responsible for the superintendent's direction and control and preparation of electoral roll and conduct of the election. So these are to be completed as per the section 7 we have seen the term. As per that section, these are to be completed. Rules are as per mentioned in this act are to be followed, and staff has to be provided by the state government to this SEC for this purpose. Section number 12 talks about the delegation. As we know that State Election Commission is a very small body, so in case it needs to delegate its function, it can do so to two persons. One is the secretary to SEC and another is Deputy Election Commissioner. So it can delegate its functions. Section number 13. Section number 13 is that there has to be electoral roll for every ward. So for this purpose, there is this electoral registration officer who will be responsible for preparing, revising, updating, modifying, and publishing these electoral rolls. This electoral registration officer would be nominated or designated by the SEC, that is State Election Commissioner, in consultation with the state government. So the electoral registration officer can even employ some more person on its own term of condition for this modification of electoral roll. Meanwhile, the SECs can also appoint assistant electoral officers for helping out ERO, which will also be designated or nominated in consultation with the SEG. These EROs are the officers of state government only. Then it also talks about who all would be the named in electoral rolls. So first of all, it tells that section number 14, which we are going to deal very soon, जो भी section number 14 में है वो लोग electoral roll में नहीं आएंगे. So this is about the disqualification. Apart from that, it tells that above 18 age, once in every ward. These are the conditions to be in the electoral rolls. Now coming to section 14, जो हमने अभी देखा है कि क्या क्या condition disqualify करती है. So section 14 is disqualification for registration in electoral roll. So it says the first thing is if it is not an Indian citizen, the person will not be in the electoral roll. If he is of unsound mind, then also if involved in any corrupt practices or any other offense related to election, will not be in the electoral roll. In these cases, it provides further that in Corruption cases, if the authority which has uh, disqualified him removes the order under which it has done so, then it is again qualified to be part of the electoral roll. Similarly, if any person if has got registered and then found disqualified, then its name would be struck off from the electoral roll. Section number 15 is about the making a false declaration in electoral roll. If anyone make any false declaration during the preparation or revision or correction, or any declaration which is wrong, which he knows is wrong, give such statement in writing, then such a person would be punished. So for him the imprisonment would be at least at most 1 year, and there would be a fine from around 2000 to 5000 rupees. So these are the, in cases of you make false declaration for getting registered in the electoral roll only. Now coming to section 16, which provides for a chief electoral officer. So a chief electoral officer is nominated by SEC, that is State Election Commission, in consultation with the state government. And what is the function? Its function is to supervise the preparation, revision, correction of electoral rules, and also the conduct of election. These are the two functions provided. Apart from these, if state government, if State Election Commission think that SEC, that Chief Electoral Officer has to perform certain other function, it may direct it so. Similarly, we need a district election officer also. So section number 17 provides for this. Like chief election officer, it is also nominated or designated so by SEC in consultation with state government, and state SECs can even appoint more than one district election officers if they find that the need demands so according to the area. These comes under the role of the CEOs, that is chief electoral officers, and their functions are same, but they can also be interested any other function through not only state election commission but also through chief election officers. Coming to section 18, which is about the staff of local authorities to be made available. So local authorities need to make staff available to the electoral registration officers, EROs, and also to returning officers. So they has to who has to make the staff available? These are all the local authorities. They have to make staff available to these people. But how they'll do this? Only on the recommendation of a CEO. If CEO give the local authorities the requirement for appointment of a certain staff, then the local authorities has to do. This is also applicable for local authorities plus any other institution or organization which is controlled or substantially financed by government. Section number 19 is about deputation. So it provides that all the person working for this SEC are would be considered to be deputated with them. So they are considered on deputation. Section number 20 is about the breach. So breach in official duty in connection with what we are talking about, electoral rules. So whenever there is a breach, because in connection with any preparation of electoral rule, then in this cases what could be done? So all the officials who will be involved in this kind of breach would have a certain punishment. So the imprisonment would be from 3 months to 2 years. It could be so, and they could be fined from 1000 to 2000. And such complaint can only be made through this act. There could be no other legal proceeding for these people, for these officials. Section number 21 is about the qualification. So person qualified for being members. Now section number 14 we have seen the disqualification for electoral rolls. Now we are seeing qualification for the members who are going to be the candidates in election. So the first thing is that reservation. So for the reserved seat, only reserved candidate would come, like for SC, SC, for SC, ST, STs, STs, and for women. Whoever are going to stand, they have to be elected in that particular municipality. In any ward, they need to be elected. Their age has to be 21 plus. They have to have education up to secondary level. And they have to have a sanitary toilet. None of their family members also should be defecating in open. So these are the few qualifications provided. Section number 21A, there is this special qualification that for certain seats, the government can announce that in a certain age bracket of 21 to 35 only people would be able to contest for specific seats, and there are other conditions provided for such special qualification is that if there are reserved seats, then only 2 such seats could be uh, made for applicable with these special conditions, and if the reserved seat are less than 3, then only 1. If there are unreserved seat, so in case of unreserved seat, if there are 5 or less, then also only 1 can be made. If there are more unreserved seats, then it can be done in the ratio of 1:5, that for every 5 there could be 1 seat with this special qualification. Then section number 2 is about the restriction on contesting election from more than one ward. So it's very simple. It just provides that every person can stand, can nominate to be standing from only one ward, not 2 wards. How I remember it, that there comes both 2. So this means no, 2. So one has to stand only from one ward. And if someone has applied, nominated himself from more than one ward, then they have to take it back through a notice that is to be given in writing by 3 p.m. on the last date of withdrawal. Otherwise, all of the nomination would be cancelled. Section number 23 is about campaigning, that restrictions on use of vehicles, loudspeakers, etc. while campaigning. So it also restricts the use of cutouts, boardings, hoardings, boards, or anything like that. Then it is applicable from the date of notification to the process completion. This is during this time they don't have to do this campaigning, otherwise they will get punished, and this punishment is a fine up to 2000 rupees. And even SEC can further order a disqualification up to 6 years if it deems so. Section number 24 is going to be a big section. Section number 24 talks about the disqualification. It is the general disqualification for the members who are going to stand for the elections. So first of all, moral turpitude. So what is a moral turpitude? If you are involved in any crime which is morally wrong for the society, like rape or murder or anything like that. So in moral turpitude and unsound mind, if you are considered so and declared so by the court, then you are disqualified. Then there is this section 245, which we'll be dealing in later. Then section 31 and section 41. If you are under trial, for a case where it is sure that you are going to get a punishment of more than 5 years, then you are disqualified. Under the Act, this Prevention of Food Adulteration Act of 1954, under Criminal Procedure Act of 1973, and Section 110. And if you come under this section and under Section number 117, an order is issued against you. If you are involved in misconduct, during central and state government and you are removed, then also you are disqualified. If you are professional practitioner but you are debarred. If you are interested in the profit like gifts or anything like that from the municipality, you are disqualified. Now, if you're disqualified for election by any other order at that time, if you are under government's appointment, then also if you are undischarged insolvent, if a person is interested in any contract of the municipality or his family is interested in, so if person is a paid legal practitioner, then he's disqualified. Also, if the person is fighting a case against the municipality, then also the person is disqualified. You should not have more than two children, and the dues to municipality, if you have not filled the dues within 2 years and the municipality is doing some review against it, then you stand disqualified. And if the person is involved in any misappropriation of fund, then also it stands disqualified. Now here's some relief is provided, like in case of moral turpitude, you are qualified after 6 years, you are disqualified for 6 years, but after that you are qualified. Then we have also seen the Criminal Procedure Act under section 110, you are disqualified. So as soon as you furnish the requirement, you are qualified again. For section number 35 and 41, section number 35 is about some corruption cases, and section number 41 is also about the removal from municipality. So in these cases, as soon as the charges are removed, you are again qualified. Now there are some things provided that if you are interested in work, you are disqualified, but certain kind of work is not considered as being interested in work. So what are these? These are like if you are not a managing director or agent in a firm, in a joint stock company which is involved in work with municipality, then this doesn't amount to disqualification. Or if you are doing some sale, purchase, or lease of immovable articles to municipality, you are not disqualified. If you have some share in a newspaper where the advertisement related to municipalities come, then also you are not disqualified. If you hold some some debentures or some loan raised, if you're interested in any kind of those, then also you're not disqualified. If you're involved in occasional sale of article or in hiring or lending to the municipalities within a certain limit which is fixed by municipalities with the value sanctioned by state government, then also you're not disqualified. Apart from that, we have seen that the person is disqualified if he has more than two children. But this condition is to be applicable from 27th of November 2095, sorry, not 2000, but in 1995. And in this case also, if a person has a twins or three or many children together, they will be counted as one. At the same time, if a person has given a child in adoption, then that child would also be counted. So this was a big section 24, which talk about the disqualification. Section number 25 is about the right to vote. Who all are going to have the right to vote in the municipality election. So whoever is present in the electoral roll is going to have a right to vote. The person should not be disqualified under this section 14. For every ward, the person has to be not register only for one ward and for once in the electoral roll. ऐसे नहीं कि एक तो मैंने पहले पहले जाके करवा लिया था स्टार्टिंग में and then went after 15 days so ऊपर नीचे नाम आ गए so I have two votes, but you don't have to do that. Then a person who is imprisoned is also not having a right to vote, but this imprisonment has to be a lawful custody which could be a sentence, any kind of sentence already issued or otherwise, but it has to be lawful. At the same time, the preventive detention is not considered that it make you ineligible to vote. Section number 26 is about the manner. So manner of voting at election. So how the vote has to be done? It specifies that it has to be voting by ballot in a prescribed manner, and there has to be no proxy voting. One candidate has to vote only once for one ward only, and otherwise the vote will be void and it would be rejected. And voting machines, because now because of these electric voting machines have come, so this provision is also there that voting machines can be used as per SEC's specification. If SEC thinks fit, then voting machine can be used for that area or ward or in a municipality. Section number 27 talks about the casual vacancies. So what are casual vacancies? In case of death, removal, resignation of a person, of a elected candidate, how the vacancies are to be filled. So the by-elections are to be conducted. We know that the state government has to conduct the by-elections as soon as possible, but state government can also, instead of conducting by-election, can also do this with general election when, if the remainder of the period is only 6 months or less. In that case, instead of conducting by-election, state government can go directly for general election and leave that vacant for some time. And in case of any vacancy at reserved seat, only reserved candidate has to stand. Section number 2 talks about the electoral offences. So electoral offences stand same as in Representation of People Act of 1959, which is a central law. So as per this, the similar offences are considered to be offences here. Just few words are to be substituted, which are that in RPA we use constituencies, but in municipalities we have wards, not constituencies. So, and whenever they specify RPA in that act, we'll consider it to be Rajasthan Municipality Act 2009 at that place. And also in place of Lok Sabha, Lok Sabha or State Legislative Assembly, we'll be considering ward of municipalities. So, except these changes, all the offenses would be considered as electoral offenses. And same in the many sections provided, we won't be able to learn those many sections. So, just remember this would be sufficient. Section number 29 is about the corrupt practices. So what will be what will be considered as corrupt practices as per this act? So first of all, we know bribery and undue influences. These are two things. So bribery would be in the form of gifts or in form of any gratification कि तुम खड़े मत हो इलेक्शन में, आई विल गिव यू दिस, या तुम अपना नॉमिनेशन विड्रॉ कर लो, आई विल गिव यू दिस, या फिर किसी वोटर को कहना कि डोंट वोट फॉर दैट पर्सन, आई विल गिव यू दिस. So this is gift and gratification. Both are considered as bribery. Then undue influence. You can influence a person in various manners. So all most of these are included here. Like if you threaten someone of social ostracism, or if you say Bhagwan ke naam pe ask vote for this, if you ask for vote on the basis of religion and race or caste, or if you ask to vote in the name of some national symbols, like you have used some similar flag or national emblem, if you ask to vote for that, if you if you somehow create enmity, if you involve in glorification of sati, if you issue some wrong statement about some other candidate कि उसने क्यों withdraw करवाया, and which is going to affect the prospectus of the other person. If you use vehicle even, बहुत बार सुना होगा कि लोग vehicles में लेके आते हैं वोट देने के लिए. So if you use that vehicle to take the people to vote and leave them back home, then also these are included in corrupt practices. But if you do any announce any public policy which is legally right, and you are कि भाई हम ये सड़क बनवा देंगे or something like that, so that kind of public policy will not be considered as corrupt practices. Then section number 30 is about the jurisdiction. So the civil courts are not going to have any jurisdiction in the case in this cases. Only as per the provision, the complaint can be made. So the provision is that only on the election petition given by SEC you can complain. So no civil court is going to have any kind of jurisdiction regarding the delimitation, seat allotment, or preparation of electoral roll, and also the conduct of election. So this all lies with the SEC's discretion. So that's it for today. Let's see you tomorrow.